In the great game of life, there are laws as exact as those of mathematics, laws that govern success, prosperity, and abundance. The wealthy do not stumble upon riches by chance. They align themselves with these invisible laws. They have learned the art of thought, the mastery of words, and the quiet discipline of faith. Wealth is not merely coins or possessions. It is a vibration, a consciousness, a way of being in harmony with the divine flow of good. The first habit of the wealthy is the habit of clear vision. They see their good before it appears. They write the vision upon the tablet of their mind and hold it with unshaken certainty. They do not say, "I hope," but "I know." Their faith paints the picture, and the unseen forces of life arrange the details. The second habit is the habit of right words. They understand that every word spoken is a seed planted in the garden of manifestation. The wealthy guard their tongues as they would guard their treasures. They speak of abundance, not lack, of opportunity, not fear. For they know that the subconscious mind is a faithful servant. It brings forth whatever it is commanded to express. Third, they practice the habit of gratitude. Each morning and night they give thanks not only for what they have, but for what is on its way. Gratitude is the magnet of miracles. It opens the floodgates of supply. Where others see limitation, they see plenty, and their words of appreciation multiply their blessings. The fourth habit is discipline of thought. The wealthy do not permit worry to build its nest in the mind. They cast out doubt as one would cast out a thief. They feed their thoughts with inspiration, wisdom, and purpose. For they know that every outer result is born from an inner state. The fifth habit is the habit of giving. They give with joy and without fear. They know that circulation is the secret of increase. Money, like blood, must flow freely to sustain life. They give, not to lose, but to make room for more. Their generosity becomes their protection, and their kindness returns multiplied. The sixth is the habit of persistence. When others tire and turn away, the wealthy continue. They understand that every delay is divine timing, and that no effort is ever wasted. They trust the unseen hand that guides all progress, and keep their eyes fixed on the promise, not the problem. The seventh habit is the habit of learning. They are students of life, eager for wisdom from every experience. They read, listen, and observe, knowing that knowledge is the key that unlocks opportunity. They do not cling to old beliefs when new truth presents itself. And finally, the eighth habit is the habit of inner peace. The wealthy move in calm assurance. They do not chase success. They attract it. Their stillness is their power, their faith their foundation. For they know that prosperity flows not from striving, but from alignment with the infinite source of all supply. Clear vision and unshakable faith form the foundation upon which every great success is built. Wealthy people, in their thoughts and actions, demonstrate that the mind is the workshop of creation and that the power of imagination is the first step toward manifestation. They understand that to see with the eyes of spirit is far greater than to see with the eyes of flesh. Before any achievement, before any fortune, there exists a picture held firmly within the mind, a mental image infused with faith so strong that no doubt can touch it. This vision is not merely a passing wish or a fleeting desire. It is a knowing. It is a command to the invisible forces of life that says, "This is what shall be." The wealthy do not wait for circumstances to prove their vision. They hold the image long before outer conditions appear. When they face lack, they do not speak of poverty. When they face obstacles, they do not confess defeat. Instead, they return again and again to their inner picture of success. They paint it vividly, with the colors of faith and expectation. They see themselves already possessing the thing desired, already walking in the result they seek. The mind, so impressed, begins to draw to itself the people, ideas, and opportunities that make the vision real. This habit of clear vision is not an act of imagination alone. It is an act of spiritual law. The universe responds to mental pictures as surely as soil responds to seed. The thought held with faith is the pattern upon which the unseen substance of life begins to shape itself. When one holds confusion or fear, the result is disorder. But when one holds clarity and calm assurance, everything aligns in divine order. The wealthy know this truth deeply, and they live by it. They do not waste thought on how their dream will come to pass. They focus only on the what, and the unwavering belief that it will unfold in perfect time. To maintain clear vision, one must train the imagination as an artist trains the hand. The untrained mind drifts easily into worry, self-doubt, and disbelief, but the disciplined mind returns swiftly to its picture of success. The wealthy often set aside quiet moments each day to visualize their goals, to feel them as already achieved, to affirm that the way is prepared and all doors are open. They do not allow fear to take root. They know that every doubt is a thief that steals from tomorrow's abundance. So they replace doubt with affirmation, fear with faith, and confusion with clarity. Unshakable faith is the companion of clear vision. Without faith, vision fades into mere fantasy. Faith is the power that sustains the image when nothing in the outer world seems to support it. It is the inner conviction that what is unseen will soon be seen. Wealthy people cultivate this faith until it becomes a habit, a natural state of being. They do not rely solely on effort or chance. They believe that the same divine intelligence that governs the stars also governs their affairs. They trust in timing, in the unfolding of events, and in the law that says all things are possible to the one who believes. When setbacks come, and they always do, the wealthy do not abandon their vision. They hold it even closer. They treat obstacles as tests of endurance, opportunities to strengthen faith. They understand that delay does not mean denial. In their hearts, they keep affirming that everything is working together for their good, even when the outer picture is unclear. Faith to them is not blind. It is illuminated by understanding. They know that the invisible realm is teeming with creative power, waiting to be directed by thought and feeling. The wealthy speak their vision into existence. They use words as instruments of creation. When they declare a thing, they speak it with certainty, never half-heartedly. I am successful. I am prosperous. My work is richly rewarded. Such affirmations are not empty phrases to them, but statements of truth. They understand that spoken words have vibration, and that vibration molds substance. Through repetition and feeling, they impress these truths upon the subconscious mind, and soon their outer life begins to mirror their inner declarations. Clarity of vision also requires the release of contradiction. One cannot hold a picture of abundance while secretly entertaining thoughts of limitation. The wealthy guard against this. They do not indulge in negative conversation or join in complaints about the economy, luck, or fate. They recognize that such talk blurs the mental image and weakens the current of faith. Instead, they dwell on ideas of growth, service, and opportunity. They keep their focus pure, their intentions steady. They know that what they dwell upon, they draw upon. Faith, once established, becomes a force that magnetizes everything needed for fulfillment. It is not strained or anxious, it is calm, confident, and sure. The wealthy rest in the knowing that all supply is already theirs in the invisible, waiting only to be called forth into visibility. They live as though the promise were already kept. They walk as though the goal were already attained. This attitude of certainty alters their vibration, and their environment responds in kind. People feel their confidence and are drawn to their energy. Doors open, ideas arrive, and circumstances arrange themselves with almost magical precision. Vision and faith together create a powerful rhythm. Vision defines the destination. Faith fuels the journey. Without vision, energy is scattered. Without faith, effort is weak. The wealthy combine both in perfect harmony. They know where they are going, and they trust that they will get there, even if the path is hidden for a time. They act from inspiration, not desperation. They move forward with assurance, guided by an inner compass that never fails. This clear vision is not limited to material goals. True wealth embraces purpose, joy, and contribution. The wealthy visualize not only their own success, but the good they can bring to others through it. Their vision includes the upliftment of those around them, for they understand that prosperity shared is prosperity multiplied. Their faith is not selfish, it is expansive. It acknowledges that abundance is infinite and available to all who align with it. The habit of maintaining clear vision and unshakable faith transforms life into a continuous unfolding of good. Every thought becomes intentional, every action guided by inner knowing. The wealthy cultivate this inner world until it becomes second nature. When others see only problems, they see possibilities. When others despair, they see divine order at work. Their minds remain steady in the midst of uncertainty because their vision is anchored in truth, and their faith stands as a fortress against fear. To think clearly, to see beyond appearances, to hold fast to the picture of one's highest good. This is the secret that separates those who wish from those who achieve. Wealthy individuals understand that all manifestation begins within. They treat their mental images as sacred, their faith as law, and through this unwavering combination, they call forth from the invisible into the visible every form of abundance their hearts can conceive. The power of right words is one of the most sacred and profound principles known to those who understand the laws of success and abundance. Every word that passes from the lips carries vibration, energy, and creative force. It is through the spoken word that thoughts take form, that invisible ideas are clothed in sound, and that reality begins to shape itself around belief. Wealthy people know that words are not idle, they are living instruments of creation. They choose their words with care, with intention, and with awareness that each one is a decree sent into the universe, commanding it to bring forth according to its kind. Those who have attained true prosperity understand that the tongue holds the power of life and death, not only in the physical sense, but in the realm of circumstance, opportunity, and destiny. The words we speak either build us or break us. They either call abundance or summon lack. The wealthy have mastered the art of directing their speech toward good. They never speak of failure, misfortune, or limitation. They refuse to give power to negativity by naming it. Instead, they speak words of strength, confidence, and increase. When they speak of their future, they declare it bright and full of promise. When they speak of themselves, they affirm their worth, their capability, and their divine right to success. To speak rightly is not mere positive thinking, it is the deliberate use of divine law. The subconscious mind, ever faithful and unquestioning, accepts the words we speak as commands. It does not argue or reason, it simply obeys. Therefore, the wealthy are vigilant in their speech. They understand that to say, "I can't," "I never have enough," or "I'm always struggling," is to write those conditions upon the tablet of the subconscious and to invite them into manifestation. They instead choose words that affirm harmony, progress, and sufficiency. "I am capable. I always have more than enough. Everything I touch prospers." Such statements become their truth, because spoken word, when joined with belief, sets creative energy in motion. The wealthy also know the importance of silence. They understand that speech without purpose wastes energy, and that idle chatter often opens the door to contradiction. They do not join in conversations of complaint or gossip, for such words lower vibration and blur the mental picture of success. They prefer words that uplift, inspire, and affirm life. When they do speak of challenges, they frame them as temporary lessons, stepping stones to greater mastery. Their language reflects their consciousness, and their consciousness shapes their world. There is immense power in speaking good of others. The wealthy never diminish another's success by criticism or envy. They know that to bless another's abundance is to align themselves with abundance. When they see someone prospering, they say, "What is possible for them is possible for me." They release all words of comparison and competition. Their speech is rooted in faith, not fear. Every word they utter builds bridges of opportunity rather than walls of resentment. The practice of right words also extends inward. Wealthy people monitor not only what they say aloud, but also the silent conversations they hold within the mind. They know that inner dialogue is just as potent as spoken speech. When they catch themselves thinking a limiting thought, they replace it immediately with a word of power. If the mind whispers, "This is too hard," they respond, "I am guided, and all things are made easy for me." If doubt arises, they counter it with, "Everything is working in my favor." In this way, they reprogram the subconscious through repetition and affirmation, transforming thought into a tool of creation rather than destruction. Right words are rooted in faith and emotion. Words spoken coldly or mechanically carry little creative power. The wealthy speak their affirmations with feeling, with conviction that what they declare is already true. They feel the joy, peace, and gratitude of the fulfilled desire even before it appears. This emotional energy charges their words with vitality and sends them out like arrows of light, sure to strike their mark. They understand that the universe responds not to empty speech but to the vibration behind it. Their language is also precise. They avoid vague expressions like "I hope" or "I wish," for such words suggest uncertainty. Instead they say, "I know," "I expect," "I receive." Hope is a waiting posture. Faith is a commanding one. The wealthy use language that commands, that declares, that assumes. They speak as if the promise were already kept, the door already opened, the goal already achieved. Their words set the tone of their vibration, and their vibration determines the experiences drawn to them. The discipline of right words requires awareness. The wealthy cultivate this awareness daily. They become observers of their speech, catching themselves before a careless statement escapes. They may pause mid-sentence to reframe a thought, transforming "this will be difficult" into "this will teach me something valuable." They take responsibility for every word, knowing that the universe listens to each one as an order waiting to be fulfilled. Through this mindfulness, their words become pure, powerful, and productive. Words also carry the power to heal. Wealthy people often use their speech to bless their endeavors, their homes, their relationships, and their finances. They speak peace into conflict, harmony into confusion, and abundance into lack. When they face adversity, they speak calmness and order, saying, "There is nothing to fear. Divine intelligence is guiding me now." In doing so, they neutralize fear and call forth faith. They know that no situation is beyond transformation when approached with words spoken in truth and love. They understand, too, that humor and kindness are forms of wealth. Words that make others feel valued, encouraged, or uplifted are investments in goodwill that return multiplied blessings. The wealthy are often gracious speakers, generous in praise, and quick to acknowledge the good in others. Their words create warmth, trust, and opportunity because people naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel seen and inspired. In moments of solitude, they continue their practice through affirmations, prayers, or written declarations. They may keep journals of prosperity statements or repeat powerful phrases throughout the day. Each repetition strengthens the neural pathways of belief, transforming words into habits and habits into reality. They do not let negative words linger or take root. They uproot them swiftly and replace them with words that align with their vision. The wealthy recognize that right speech extends beyond the self. It is also a form of service to the world. When they speak hope to someone in despair, when they speak possibility to one who has lost faith, they are using their words as instruments of light. They become channels through which divine energy flows, and in lifting others, they lift themselves. The words they speak ripple outward, shaping environments, influencing minds, and transforming situations they may never see. There is no wasted word in their vocabulary. Every sentence is a tool, every statement a seed. They do not underestimate the power of casual remarks or passing comments, for they know that even those carry vibration. Thus, they choose to speak only what they wish to see multiplied. Their words are measured, not by caution but by intention. They understand that language is a form of wealth, and mastery of it is mastery of life. Through years of practice, right words become their natural speech. They no longer need to monitor every phrase, for truth has become their default language. Their words bless, build, and bring forth. They speak success because they think success. They think success because they believe in divine abundance. And because they believe, their words never return void. Each word becomes a golden thread, weaving the fabric of prosperity, health, and harmony in the tapestry of their existence. The attitude of gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the treasury of abundance. It is the sacred bridge between the seen and the unseen, between desire and fulfillment. Wealthy people understand that gratitude is not simply a polite expression or a social courtesy. It is a living force, a magnet that draws all good things toward itself. When one gives thanks, one aligns with the rhythm of divine supply. Gratitude changes vibration, and vibration changes circumstance. Those who live in continual thankfulness move through life with a quiet assurance that everything they need will be provided, and that every experience, whether pleasant or challenging, is working toward their ultimate good. The wealthy begin and end each day in gratitude. In the morning, before the world has made its demands, they give thanks for the breath in their body, for the opportunity to create, for the countless blessings already present and those yet unseen. At night, before sleep, they review the day with appreciation, finding something good even in what others might call a setback. They understand that to give thanks for what is not yet visible is the highest form of faith. Gratitude says, "I already possess it," and the universe, which always mirrors belief, responds by providing tangible proof of that possession. The untrained mind tends to focus on what is missing, but the wealthy mind focuses on what is present. They know that whatever one gives attention to grows. If one constantly complains, one multiplies reasons to complain. If one gives thanks, one multiplies reasons to celebrate. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to abundance, from limitation to possibility. It transforms the atmosphere of the mind, opening it to inspiration, clarity, and opportunity. This inner change is the real beginning of prosperity. The wealthy practice gratitude not as an occasional emotion but as a continuous state of consciousness. They cultivate it through deliberate attention. When they receive payment, they give thanks. When they pay a bill, they give thanks for the circulation of money. When they meet someone new, they give thanks for the potential blessing hidden in that encounter. They look for the good in every situation and magnify it with appreciation. Even when things appear to go wrong, they affirm that something better is being prepared. Their gratitude is not conditional, it is constant. They understand that gratitude is creative. Every thankful thought sends out a wave of energy that attracts more of the same kind. To give thanks for wealth is to attract wealth. To give thanks for health is to attract health. To give thanks for peace is to attract peace. The wealthy live by this law. They do not wait for abundance to arrive before expressing gratitude. They know that gratitude is the cause, not the effect. By giving thanks in advance, they plant the seed from which abundance grows. Their words of appreciation are not empty flattery toward fate. They are acts of creation spoken in faith. Gratitude also heals the heart from fear and resentment. It dissolves the habit of worry by focusing the mind on what is right rather than what is wrong. The wealthy protect their inner peace by replacing complaint with thanksgiving. When an unexpected expense arises, they give thanks that they have the means to meet it or that the means will soon appear. When a challenge presents itself, they give thanks for the strength and wisdom it calls forth. This shift in perspective transforms potential problems into opportunities for growth. Gratitude makes every circumstance serve rather than hinder. The wealthy are grateful for the smallest details of life: a warm conversation, a quiet morning, the beauty of nature, the harmony of a productive day. All become sources of joy. They do not postpone happiness until a future achievement. They live it now, through appreciation of the present. Gratitude makes them rich long before money ever enters the equation. It fills their lives with meaning and their minds with peace. Because they recognize abundance in simple things, greater abundance flows naturally to them. Gratitude also expands intuition. When the mind is thankful, it becomes receptive to divine guidance. The wealthy trust the inner voice that speaks in moments of calm appreciation. They know that gratitude opens channels of inspiration and attracts the right ideas at the right time. In moments of decision, they quiet the mind and give thanks for perfect direction, and they find themselves led with ease toward success. Gratitude aligns the individual with the intelligence that governs all creation, making right choices effortless. FYEC. True gratitude is active, not passive. It expresses itself in generosity, kindness, and service. The wealthy give because they are grateful, and their giving increases their gratitude. They recognize that every act of giving is an acknowledgement of abundance. When they share their resources, they affirm, "I have more than enough to give." This attitude keeps the current of prosperity flowing. Gratitude turns giving into joy and receiving into grace. It eliminates fear of loss because it sees all supply as infinite. The habit of gratitude also changes relationships. Wealthy people express appreciation openly. They thank others for their time, effort, and presence. They understand that recognition is nourishment to the soul, and that every word of sincere thanks strengthens connection and trust. People are drawn to those who radiate appreciation, for gratitude makes one magnetic, warm, and approachable. In business, this energy attracts opportunities. In friendship, it deepens bonds. In love, it multiplies harmony. The wealthy avoid complaining not because they ignore reality, but because they refuse to energize negativity. They understand that complaint is a misuse of creative power. Every word of dissatisfaction reinforces the condition one seeks to escape. Instead of saying, "I can't afford this," they say, "I am grateful for what I have, and greater abundance is coming." Instead of saying, "This is too hard," they say, "I'm thankful for the strength and wisdom to meet this challenge." Such simple changes in language transform energy and outcomes. Gratitude also keeps pride in check. The wealthy recognize that their success is not achieved by effort alone, but by alignment with universal laws. They give thanks to the source of all good, knowing that their talents, opportunities, and even their perseverance are gifts of grace. This humility protects them from arrogance and preserves their peace. It keeps their hearts open, their minds teachable, and their lives in harmony with the flow of good. In moments of uncertainty, gratitude becomes their anchor. When outer circumstances seem unstable, they turn inward and give thanks for stability in spirit. They affirm that divine order governs all situations and that every delay or detour hides a blessing. This thankful perspective allows them to move through challenges without fear. Gratitude, like light, dispels the shadows of doubt. It keeps them steady, confident, and expectant of good. Gratitude transforms work into worship. The wealthy approach their tasks with appreciation for the opportunity to serve, to create, to express their abilities. They bless their work and the people they serve through it. They know that when work is done with a thankful heart, it carries a higher vibration and attracts greater reward. Even the most ordinary duties become sacred when performed in gratitude. Every moment for them becomes an opportunity to give thanks. The breath, the heartbeat, the sunrise, the challenges that teach patience, the success that confirms faith, all are met with acknowledgement. Gratitude becomes their way of seeing, their way of living, their way of being. It colors every thought, word, and action. In gratitude, they find contentment without complacency, ambition without anxiety, and faith without fear. Through this continual practice, gratitude becomes not something they do, but something they are. It becomes their natural state of mind, their atmosphere of being. They move through the world surrounded by an invisible aura of thankfulness that draws blessings as surely as a magnet draws iron. Wherever they go, harmony follows, because gratitude is harmony made visible. Persistence with purpose is the fire that keeps the engine of success moving when all other forces seem to falter. It is the quiet, steady power that turns dreams into realities and ideas into substance. Wealthy people understand that talent may open the first door, but persistence keeps every other door swinging open. They know that no great creation was ever completed in one motion. that every masterpiece was born through continual effort, guided by an unwavering vision. Persistence, to them, is not the stubbornness of desperation, but the calm determination of faith in action. It is the refusal to be moved by appearances and the ability to remain aligned with purpose even when progress seems invisible. The wealthy do not mistake delay for denial. They understand that divine timing governs all things, and that sometimes what appears to be a setback is merely a preparation. They persist, not through force but through faith. They keep their minds focused on the end result, certain that the law of cause and effect will deliver what they have sown. They are patient but not passive, deliberate but not hurried. They act each day toward their purpose, trusting that every effort contributes to the unfolding of their greater good. This patience is not resignation. It is confidence in the unseen workings of divine law. Persistence with purpose begins with clarity of desire. The wealthy know exactly what they are working toward. Their goals are not vague hopes or shifting whims. They are clearly defined intentions, supported by deep conviction. When the purpose is clear, the will becomes strong. They rise each morning knowing why they act, why they strive, and why they continue when others give up. This sense of purpose gives energy to persistence. Without it, effort quickly fades. A mind without purpose drifts like a ship without a rudder, but a mind fixed on purpose moves with power and direction. The wealthy see challenges as part of the journey, not as signs to turn back. When obstacles arise, they do not retreat into complaint or discouragement. Instead, they view difficulties as teachers, each one shaping their character and sharpening their wisdom. They understand that persistence transforms difficulty into strength, that endurance refines ability, and that every obstacle contains within it the seed of its own solution. They face opposition with calm resolve, saying inwardly, "This too shall serve my good." Through this attitude, they turn trials into triumphs and delays into stepping stones. Persistence does not mean endless struggle. The wealthy do not push blindly against resistance. They move intelligently, guided by intuition and strategy. They adjust their methods when needed, but never abandon their mission. If one door closes, they look for another, confident that the right opportunity is always open to a mind that refuses to quit. Their persistence is flexible, not rigid. They understand that the path may twist and turn, but the destination remains the same. In this adaptability lies true strength. Faith and persistence are inseparable companions. The wealthy persist because they believe. They believe in the law of compensation, in the certainty that effort, backed by right thought, will yield reward. They hold their vision in the face of doubt, repeating affirmations of success when the outer world offers none. They remind themselves that the darkest hour often precedes dawn. They persist because they know that the universe never fails those who align with its principles. This unshakable faith gives them endurance far beyond the ordinary. Every great fortune, every thriving enterprise, every work of genius is a story of persistence. The wealthy see this law at work everywhere. In nature, in business, in art, in life itself. The seed does not sprout the instant it is planted. It must remain in the darkness, nurtured by faith in the process. So too must ideas mature in silence before they appear in form. The wealthy respect this rhythm. They do not dig up the seed to check its progress. They water it with action and trust. They persist quietly, knowing that time is the servant of purpose. Persistence also demands control over emotion. The wealthy do not let temporary discouragement sway them. They have learned to master impatience, fear, and self-doubt. When things move slowly, they remain composed. When results are delayed, they remain expectant. They know that to lose emotional control is to weaken creative power. Their persistence is calm and deliberate because it springs from inner stability, not from restless striving. They move forward with the certainty that what is rightfully theirs cannot be withheld. Purpose gives meaning to effort. Without it, persistence becomes mechanical, joyless, and exhausting. The wealthy connect their persistence to something greater than personal gain. Their work often serves an ideal, a vision of contribution, improvement, or creation. This deeper purpose fuels their motivation and gives them endurance beyond ordinary limits. They draw strength from the belief that their actions matter, that they are channels through which good flows into the world. Such purpose transforms work into devotion and persistence into spiritual practice. They also understand that persistence does not mean isolation. Wealthy people surround themselves with those who support their purpose and strengthen their faith. They seek counsel, learn from mentors, and collaborate with others who share their vision. Yet they remain centered in their own conviction. They welcome advice but never allow outside opinion to shake their inner knowing. Their persistence is independent of approval. Whether praised or criticized, they keep moving toward their goal with quiet consistency. The wealthy measure progress not by speed but by direction. They know that even small steps taken daily create momentum. Persistence thrives in consistency. Each day's effort, no matter how modest, builds upon the last. The wealthy treat time as an ally, not an enemy. They understand that continuous, purposeful action eventually compels success. For the universe must yield to the one who will not yield. They do not rush the process, but remain steady, allowing growth to unfold naturally. When discouragement whispers that success is too far away, the wealthy turn to affirmations of truth. They remind themselves that every successful person once stood where they stand, facing uncertainty, yet continuing anyway. They repeat inwardly, "Divine intelligence guides my way. Every step I take moves me closer to my goal. Nothing can stand against right purpose." These words restore their courage and renew their persistence. Persistence with purpose also involves faith in unseen assistance. The wealthy trust that when they move with sincerity and determination, invisible forces align to support them. Chance meetings, unexpected opportunities, and intuitive insights seem to appear just when needed. They recognize these as responses to their steadfast vibration. Their persistence is magnetic. It attracts the resources and people required for fulfillment. In the quiet moments when nothing seems to be happening, they persist inwardly by maintaining belief. Outward effort may pause, but inward conviction never wavers. They hold the vision, they bless the process, and they trust the timing. This inner persistence is the most powerful kind, for it sustains all outward action. It is the still flame that burns beneath every success story. They understand that persistence must be balanced with wisdom. There is a difference between purposeful persistence and blind insistence. The wealthy know when to release what no longer serves their goal, not out of defeat, but out of understanding. They persist in their purpose, not necessarily in one rigid plan. If a path closes, they thank it and choose another. True persistence lies not in doing the same thing endlessly, but in never abandoning the intention that inspired it. Persistence with purpose transforms the individual. It builds strength, patience, and faith. Each challenge endured refines character. Each effort completed adds confidence. The wealthy are not only richer in material terms, but richer in spirit, because persistence has carved depth into their being. They have learned to trust themselves, to trust life, and to trust the unseen order guiding all things. Their persistence becomes quiet power, a strength that needs no display, a certainty that moves mountains without strain. Inner peace and alignment with abundance is the invisible crown worn by those who have mastered both the inner and outer worlds. Wealthy people understand that true prosperity cannot be built upon inner turmoil. It must arise from a foundation of calm confidence, a stillness that remains unshaken by the noise of circumstance. Inner peace is not the absence of activity, but the presence of harmony within thought and feeling. It is the quiet knowing that life unfolds in perfect order, and that everything needed will arrive at the right time. This peace becomes a magnet for abundance, for nothing repels prosperity faster than anxiety, and nothing invites it more surely than serenity of mind. The wealthy cultivate peace through discipline of thought. They train the mind to dwell on truth rather than appearances, on faith rather than fear. They understand that restlessness scatters energy while calmness concentrates it. The peaceful mind is focused, clear, and receptive to inspiration. When others act from panic, they act from poise. Their calm demeanor is not indifference but power held in reserve. It allows them to respond intelligently instead of react impulsively. This quiet steadiness becomes their greatest advantage, for opportunities reveal themselves most easily to those who can see without distortion. Inner peace comes from trust in divine law. The wealthy know that the universe operates with precision and fairness. They believe that their good cannot be lost, stolen, or delayed, that every circumstance has meaning, and that nothing is ever against them unless they decree it so. This trust frees them from worry about competition or chance. They move in a rhythm of assurance, guided by the inner conviction that all things are working together for their good. They do not chase success, they attract it through alignment with this law of harmony. Alignment with abundance means thinking and feeling in unity with the energy of prosperity. The wealthy do not see abundance as something external to pursue, but as a natural state of being. They recognize that scarcity begins in consciousness and that true wealth begins in awareness. When the mind and heart are filled with ideas of sufficiency, the outer world mirrors that sufficiency. They hold thoughts of expansion, generosity, and joy, and these thoughts manifest as opportunities, creativity, and financial increase. The peaceful person is not free from challenges, but free from inner conflict about them. The wealthy encounter difficulties as all do, but they meet them with calm faith instead of agitation. They affirm that every problem contains its own solution and that right action will reveal itself in due time. Their peace allows them to remain open to divine guidance. In moments of uncertainty, they turn inward, not outward. They quiet the mind until the answer rises naturally, often in a flash of intuition or a gentle inner prompting. Because they are not distracted by fear, they hear the still, small voice of wisdom that others miss in their noise of doubt. The wealthy also understand that inner peace and abundance are intertwined through gratitude and detachment. They are grateful for what they have while remaining unattached to any particular form of possession. Their joy does not depend on whether the stock rises or falls, whether a deal succeeds or fails. They maintain equilibrium because they know that true wealth is not the object, but the consciousness behind it. They own things without being owned by them. This freedom keeps them in the flow of increase, for attachment creates fear of loss, and fear constricts supply. Detachment, grounded in peace, allows circulation and continual growth. Their environment often reflects their inner state. The wealthy value harmony in their surroundings. They choose spaces that inspire calmness, orderly, beautiful, and filled with light. They understand that external clutter mirrors internal clutter, and so they maintain simplicity as a symbol of clarity. They may begin their mornings in silence, meditation, or prayer, attuning their thoughts to peace before engaging with the world. This daily alignment ensures that they act from centeredness rather than reaction. Inner peace gives birth to wise decision-making. When the mind is tranquil, intuition functions clearly. The wealthy rely on this inner guidance in both business and personal matters. They do not rush choices out of pressure or fear. They wait until they feel an inward sense of harmony before proceeding. If confusion persists, they pause, knowing that the right direction will become evident when peace returns. In this way, they avoid the costly errors that come from haste. Their calmness is their compass, and peace itself becomes a signal of correctness. The wealthy recognize that emotions are forces, and they treat them with respect. They do not suppress feelings, but they refuse to let them rule. Anger, fear, and worry are transformed through understanding. They ask what lesson each emotion brings, and then release it. This emotional mastery preserves their energy and allows them to remain focused on creation rather than reaction. They see that every disturbance within is an invitation to return to peace, for peace is the natural state of the soul. They protect their peace as they would protect their wealth. They do not permit negativity to enter through gossip, drama, or complaint. They are selective about the influences they allow into their minds, whether from people, media, or environment. They seek conversations that uplift, books that enlighten, and companions who inspire. By surrounding themselves with harmony, they maintain the serenity that keeps them aligned with abundance. Alignment with abundance also involves living in harmony with the laws of giving and receiving. The wealthy know that to hoard is to invite stagnation. They allow prosperity to flow freely through their lives. Their giving is joyful, never forced, for it springs from the recognition that they are channels, not owners of supply. This attitude of flow keeps them peaceful because they never fear depletion. They trust that as they release good, more good returns multiplied. Peace thrives in generosity, for generosity dissolves the illusion of lack. The wealthy also nurture their inner peace by maintaining balance. They value rest as much as action, silence as much as speech. They understand that success without serenity is a form of poverty. They take time to renew the mind and body, to reconnect with the quiet center from which all power flows. Whether through nature, reflection, or creative expression, they withdraw regularly into the stillness that restores strength. From this stillness, they return to their endeavors refreshed and inspired. Their peace gives them presence. In conversation, they listen deeply. In work, they focus completely. They are not scattered by distraction or lost in worry about the past or future. They live in the eternal now, where power resides. This mindfulness magnifies their effectiveness. People feel their calm confidence and are drawn to it. Their peace becomes influence. Their serenity commands respect. Without raising their voice or asserting dominance, they move through the world with quiet authority born of inner balance. The wealthy know that true peace cannot be bought or inherited. It must be cultivated. It is not the result of possessions but the cause of them. They remember that abundance begins within and that outer success without inner harmony eventually crumbles. Therefore, they tend to their inner state as carefully as to their enterprises. They cleanse their thoughts of resentment, replace fear with faith, and cultivate joy as naturally as one tends a garden. Each peaceful thought becomes a seed of prosperity that blossoms in time. Inner peace aligns the individual with the highest vibration of abundance because both are expressions of harmony. The universe itself operates in perfect balance, and when one's mind reflects that balance, one moves effortlessly with the current of good. The wealthy live in tune with this rhythm. They neither rush ahead nor fall behind. They flow. Their calm acceptance of life's timing opens doors that frantic striving would only close. Peace allows them to move gracefully through change, to welcome the new without fear, and to release the old without regret. This alignment with abundance creates a quiet confidence that radiates through every aspect of their being. They do not need to prove their worth or defend their position. Their peace speaks louder than words. They know who they are, they know the source of their good, and they know that all things move in divine order. From this awareness, they act, create, and live as expressions of infinite supply.